Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Simone and today I'm going to be showing you how to wash and reuse this very old Brazilian hair. And honestly, I've used this hair so many times I've literally lost track. So I'm just going to insert a few pictures of the various times I've used it. And the last picture was in December of 2015, which is about 9 months ago. So now I'm just going to take this Moroccan argan oil conditioner and shampoo. It is great for restoring and strengthening hair. It gets it very silky like the first time you bought it. And I love using this when I'm reusing my old hair. So once it is completely washed of the shampoo, I'm just going to take the conditioner and apply that to the hair and let it sit for about an hour or so. And I'm just making sure the conditioner is spread evenly throughout all of the bundles. And once I do that, I'm just going to wash it out thoroughly. So now that the hair is clean, I'm just going to take a little bit of this Jamaican black castor oil and I'm just going to apply a dime size throughout each of the bundles. I like doing this because it gives it a really nice shine and sheen. And I'm just going to blow dry it just a little bit. I'm not going to get it completely dry. I have it on low heat. I just want to make sure it's dry enough to where I can go ahead and start sewing it in. Alright, so I've already done the first 3 braids on the left side of my head. I'm just going to show you how I usually braid the first 4 or 5 braids. So I'm just going to braid them down the side and I'm going to connect each one to the other once I get to the end. And I like doing this because I'll only have 1 braid to just sew up in the back and it doesn't leave my hair like big and bulky in the back because all of them are connected together. Alright, so this is the last braid and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the 2 braids on either side and I'm just going to pull those into that final braid and once I finish you'll be able to see what it looks like in the back. And mind you guys, I am not a hairstylist. I just know how to braid and sew just a little bit. But this braiding pattern is beginner friendly for anyone if you know how to braid. It's super simple and I'm not going to be using a net. So it's easier to sew the hair on to a pattern like this. Alright, so this is what the braid pattern looks like. Super simple. Now I'm just going to take a little bit of that Jamaican black castor oil and apply that to my scalp before I start sewing the hair in. Alright guys, so like I said before, I am not a stylist, so I'm just going to be taking that first weft and putting the needle right through it. It's just easier for me to make sure the hair is secure and I don't have any loose ends or pieces of track coming out in like a week or so. As you can see, I am doing the flip over method, and this is very important when it comes to reusing hair. You don't want to cut the wefts because if you do, you're going to experience a lot of shedding and it's going to be very difficult to determine like where the pieces will go if they're long enough. So you want to make sure you don't cut the wefts so you can reuse the hair multiple times, especially if the hair is very expensive. And this is a Brazilian loose curl. I'll make sure I link it in the description box. But I got this from Hair Galore Atlanta. And it wasn't very expensive, but it wasn't cheap either. I think I got 4 bundles when I first bought it. And it was probably like less than $400. So it may have been like between $320 and $350. And so in the back, I doubled all of the bundles, but once I get right around the crown area, I'm not doubling them just because I don't want the front to look super bulky. So I'm just going to take each one and sew to the front and then go backwards and then go back again until the braid is completely covered. And so as you guys can see, the sew-in looks super flat And what I forgot to mention was I took the longer bundles and put those at the top and the shorter bundles on the bottom because I'm going for a long blunt cut bob this time. I've worn the hair super long every time I've had it, so I just want to go for something different now. So for the front, I'm just taking some hair ties and tying the front of the hair evenly so that I can cut it. Don't laugh at my little struggle hair tie on the side. That was the only one I could find. But it's super simple to just cut the hair when you have a rubber band on it, just to give you an idea of the length and to get it exactly right. And it doesn't have to be perfect because you can just go back in and just cut it like I am doing here. So any loose pieces, you just take those and cut them right off. And so for the back, I'm doing the exact same thing. It's a little bit more difficult to cut the back because you can't see it, but that's okay because sometimes I'm gonna be wearing the bob curly, so it doesn't have to be perfect. And as you can see, I missed a little string, but I'll get that a little bit later. Alright, and this is what the back looks like. Not too shabby if I do say so myself. Now I'm just taking a little bit of that castor oil and I'm going to apply that throughout the weave before I straighten it. And I'm going to take this Garnier Fructis holding spray just to give it a little sheen and shine and make sure I get it bone straight. And the great thing about this hair is I'm going to straighten it, but it curls right back to its natural state once you put a little water on it. If you decide to wash it or if you just want to wear it curly later on in the week, all you have to do is wet it and it goes right back to its natural state and it looks exactly the same as before you straighten the hair. Alright, so I'm pretty sure all of you guys know how to use flat irons, so this part is super simple. But I do have my flat irons on 450. That's because I want the hair to get as bone straight as possible. And as you guys can see, huge difference between the straight and curly side. That's why I love this hair so much. So now I have it all straight and I'm just going to make sure I get any loose ends on both sides and in the back. Alright guys, so on to blending my natural hair with the weave. So I'm not natural, but I haven't had a perm for a couple of months. So I'm going to take a little bit of that argan oil and blow dry my hair because it was still damp from when I washed it. And I'm going to take a little bit of that hairspray, the holding spray, just to make sure I get my natural hair as straight as possible. Alright, so once I get my natural hair as straight as I think it can get, I'm just going to take a couple of pieces of my hair with the sew-in and flat iron that just to blend it as well as possible. Now I'm going to take a little bit of this holding mousse and apply it to the top of my hair just to make sure it lays flat and it's super straight. Now I'm just taking a little bit of styling gel and laying these edges down, and this is basically your completed look, guys. So I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial. It was super simple, in my opinion, very beginner friendly. So thanks so much. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed this tutorial, and please stay tuned for more hair and makeup tutorials. Thanks a lot. Bye.